This streamer can lift cars, jump higher than you'd expect, run against Olympic athletes, and somehow he's actually keeping up. But is IShowSpeed actually an athlete? Because behind all the screaming, the chaos, and the millions of views, there might actually be a legitimate athlete hiding in there. To find out, I'm not going off the clips. I'm using his actual numbers, real combine stats, real head-to-head races, and putting them next to the athletes who do this for a living. NBA legends, NFL burners, Olympic sprinters, no hype, just the receipts. Start with the easiest claim to check, since it's the one everyone's already seen a version of. Speed's pulled off the car lift bit more than once, but the clearest version happened on a stop in Poland. A lever rig, one end of a Mazda Miata, and a crowd counting him through it as people got added to the car one at a time. First alone, then one passenger, then two, then three, at which point he nearly collapsed and needed the fans screaming his name just to finish the rep. Chat spent the entire clip in all caps. So did half of Twitter, which is exactly how a headline number ends up trending before anyone's actually checked the math. That number was 2,700 pounds. The actual physics say otherwise. On a lever system like that, the load on his body is closer to 150 pounds, not the full weight of the car and everyone in it. Fact checkers did the math within hours and knocked the number down by a factor of almost 20. So, did he lift a car? Technically, yes, the same way anyone with a long enough lever and a car jack does. Is it the superhuman feat the headline implied? No, just the first of a few asterisks we're going to run into. Now the jump, since jump higher than you'd expect from the top of this video is underselling it a little. Tom Brady doesn't get rattled easily. He's trained alongside actual first-round picks his entire career. So when Speed lined up next to him during a combine-style training day for his Speed Goes Pro series, a whole project built around one question: can he actually hold his own against professionals when nobody's letting him win? Went and put up a 40-inch vertical.
Yeah! Oh my God. Go, baby! That's unbelievable.
The reaction on Brady's face wasn't for the cameras. Speed topped it off with a 4.49 second 40-yard dash and a broad jump just past 10 feet, all recorded on camera during real testing. Not something he just said out loud afterward. Context for what that actually means. A 4.49 40 puts him in NFL wide receiver and cornerback territory, faster than most players who've ever been drafted. A 40-inch vertical sits in the same range as NBA combined standouts who get scouted specifically for their hops. None of that makes him an NFL player. Combined numbers get plenty of undrafted guys cut every year for reasons that have nothing to do with speed or verticals. Route running, film study, a decade of technique, but as a raw physical number tested under real conditions, this is the one category in the entire video where the stats just speak for themselves. This next one starts with Speed farting in front of an Olympic gold medalist.
Oh. No, wait, you talking about? I farted. I farted.
Gymnastics is supposed to be the discipline where the gap between him and a real professional is widest. Years of repetition beat raw athleticism here more than almost any other sport. And for most of his session, with 6-time Olympic medalist Suni Lee, plus training help from Nastia Lukin and NCAA champion Fred Richard, that gap shows. He's nervous on the high bar, fights through the giant swing, and mid-attempt audibly farts, which Lee says never happened to her in 17 years of the sport.
I think for 17 years and no one's ever farted in front of me.
Funniest 30 seconds in the whole series. Then he actually lands it. 2 giants and a front full twist on his first real attempt with an Olympic champion coaching him through it live. Most adults who try gymnastics for the first time don't land a front full twist on attempt 1. Most don't land it at all. It's still nowhere close to competitive level. Lee's had this since childhood. Speed had it for one afternoon, but it's the clearest proof in the whole video that his raw coordination is real, not just confidence wearing a costume. Kevin Durant actually walked off the court on him mid-game. That's not a metaphor, that's the headline from their session together, and it tells you everything about how competitive an actual NBA superstar stays, even during a content shoot with a streamer. The day covered shooting drills, a full pickup game, and a 3-point shootout. Speed held his own on the shooting drills, got exposed badly in the pickup run, and the loss was lopsided enough that Durant just left mid-possession rather than finish it out. No theatrics, no soft landing, Just an NBA player treating a content shoot like an actual loss. The number people bring up most from that day is the sprint. During combine-style drills with Durant watching, Speed reportedly ran a 3/4 court sprint of 2.80 seconds. For context, the real NBA combine record for that exact drill is 2.87 seconds, set by Devin Carter in 2024, the fastest ever recorded there. If Speed's number holds up, it's faster than any NBA prospect has ever officially run that drill. Worth the asterisk though, no certified timing, no actual combine, just cameras rolling for a YouTube series. Same drill, same distance. Just not going in a record book next to Carter's name. What is on the record is what Durant said afterward.
All right, well, he thought he could be pro today. What do you think?
Not today. Not today. Maybe this time 2049, maybe.
He called Speed an athlete who can do it all, then asked directly if Speed challenged him on the court, said no, and added Speed's more built for football than basketball. About as balanced a review as this video is going to get. Real respect, real speed, and an honest no on actual basketball skill. This is where it stops being funny. Speed wasn't even supposed to be in the ring. He was backstage streaming as a guest at the WWE Royal Rumble when a wrestler got attacked before his entrance, and the promotion needed a replacement fast.
Who me? Are you serious?
Speed.
You're in the Rumble. Hell no, I'm not ready.
Go.
What you mean?
Go. Throw people in the front row.
He happened to be standing right there. He entered at number 8, helped the Intercontinental Champion eliminate another wrestler, hit one of his signature backflips to celebrate, and then got speared in half, picked up, and thrown through the announcer's table. 57 seconds, start to finish, and none of it planned more than a few minutes in advance. The clip became the most viewed Royal Rumble moment ever recorded, over 300 million views in under 24 hours. And unlike almost everything else in this video, the injury wasn't a bit. He said afterward he cracked a rib and couldn't walk for 2 days. His exact words, "No more WWE." He went back anyway, eventually training properly at the WWE Performance Center instead of getting thrown in cold. Then there's the fight everyone still brings up, a charity boxing spar against KSI, back when Speed was 18 with zero boxing experience. KSI, 4 years into an actual boxing career, dropped him repeatedly for 4 straight rounds before stopping the fight out of mercy rather than let it continue, which technically handed Speed the result by forfeit, even though there was no real doubt who'd actually won. Speed was furious it got stopped early.
Come on, bro. I'm not done playing, bro. Oh God, I'm not done playing, bro.
He never got his 6 full rounds, and he's still publicly calling for a rematch, still chasing a redemption he hasn't gotten yet.
Bro, if we box again, I'm whooping your ass, bro. And I'm being dead ass serious, bro. He boxed me when I was dumb young, bro. Like, chat, I'm being dead ass serious, bro. If me and KSI box again, I'm beating his ass, bro.
Real damage in a real match. A loss he's never settled. This is the one category with no flattering spin available. There's one sport, though, where he already got that redemption. He wasn't always this composed on a soccer pitch. His first appearance at the Sidemen charity match back in 2022 was pure chaos. He introduced himself to the event by taking KSI down with a tackle before he'd really even touched the ball. Back in 2023, playing for the YouTube All-Stars in front of 60,000 fans, Speed missed 3 open chances, then stepped up to a penalty against his rival, KSI. He missed it so badly the ball just rolled into KSI's hands. No dive needed. KSI hit Ronaldo's celebration in his face, and the internet renamed him IshowMiss for the rest of the year. 2 years later, same stage, different result. Wembley, sold out, and this time Speed came in as captain, not a chaotic sub. He set up 2 goals himself in a match that turned into an actual shootout. 18 goals in 90 minutes, tied 9-9 in the final minute. Penalties, same setup as 2023, same stakes, and this time he buried it, clinching the win, then celebrated with a backflip in front of a full stadium. That's not really a story about talent. Plenty of professional athletes never get a redemption arc that clean. It's proof he can actually come back from getting embarrassed on a massive stage, which, given the KSI rematch he's still chasing, is a skill he might need again soon. Which brings us to the actual claim from the top of this video, racing Olympic athletes and keeping up. Noah Lyles, reigning Olympic 100-meter champion, agreed agreed to a 50-meter race for $100,000. Speed got out ahead early. For a solid 2 seconds, he was actually winning against the fastest man alive. Lyles caught him right at the line in a finish close enough that Speed initially called it a tie on stream.
Not a tie! That was a tie! I'm the fastest man alive!
And it took a camera review to confirm Lyles had it by the smallest possible margin. Lyles donated the money to charity and afterward actually offered to train Speed for a real 100-meter rematch. Not something an Olympic champion offers a random YouTuber unless the race actually impressed him. Different story with Letsile Tebogo, Botswana's first ever Olympic gold medalist. An informal 50-meter dash, no blocks, no starter's gun, just a phone camera and a crowd of local kids. Tebogo stumbles out of his stance and never closes the gap. Speed crosses first, celebrates hard, offers a rematch. Tebogo just lets him have it. Genuine coin flip how to read that one. Real win or courtesy loss from a guest host. What it isn't is proof he's faster than an Olympic champion running at full effort. Then there's the cheetah. Fun, hugely viral, and worth being honest about. The cheetah gets released, accelerates almost instantly, and is pulling away within a couple of strides. Not a real test of anything except how far Speed will go for a thumbnail, and the athletes who won't even take the race. Sha'Carri Richardson turned him down flat, said she doesn't race for free.
Y'all see, right? I don't race for free.
See, everybody just be dunking, you see?
He has, though, beaten fellow streamer Ashton Hall 4 straight times. A real result, just not against anyone who runs professionally. Put together, fast enough to make an Olympic champion sweat for 2 full seconds. Fast enough to beat one who starts poorly. No match for a cheetah, or most likely for Tebogo on a day he doesn't stumble. So back to the actual question, is IShowSpeed an athlete? The car lift was more stagecraft than strength. Impressive to watch, unremarkable once you do the math. The football numbers are where the case is strongest. A certified 4.49 40 and a 40-inch vertical that would turn heads at an actual combine. Gymnastics says his raw coordination is legitimate, even without the technique to back it up yet. Basketball gets the most honest verdict of the whole video, straight from Durant. Fast, likable, not actually a threat on the court. Combat sports is where it falls apart. Real damage, a real loss, an unfinished rematch. Soccer is the one sport where he already turned an embarrassing loss into a real redemption. And sprinting, the category with his actual name on it, is the most complicated of all. Fast enough to worry an Olympic champion for 2 seconds? The honest answer isn't that he's secretly a professional athlete hiding behind a streaming career. It's that he's spent the last 2 years doing something almost nobody else has access to. Getting tested on camera against real professionals across 7 different categories with no years of specialized training to fall back on. Most of us will never find out our actual ceiling in even one sport. Speed's found out in 7, in public, losses included. That's rarer than the 40-inch vertical. Subscribe for more videos.